So one of the first things I'm gonna start with is getting a budget, learning where your money is going. In order to get where you want to go, you have to know where you are. You can't say you're going to invest or save $200 a month when you can't even afford to save $200 a month. So go into your budget, go into your financial statements from your bank, see where you can cut out those unnecessary expenses. I know a lot of people don't like to think about budgets. It's a bad word, that B word. But we ain't here for that. If we trying to invest for the future and work on our future selves and build that generational wealth, we have to keep track of our money. You think Elon just go out and spend money recklessly? Nah. He might go buy some purchases that don't make sense to me and you, but he knows exactly where his money is and where it's coming from, where it's going at all times, I'm sure. So a budget is necessary. How many of y'all saw that Cardi B tweet where she was tweeting about how much the price of eggs or milk was? And she's a multimillionaire. So if she looking at how much eggs or milk costs, you shouldn't be blowing money on all this recklessness stuff. So you gotta look at your money and make sure you're doing right by it for your money to do right by you. So a budget is definitely necessary. Sit down. You can check the link in my app. All right. So the next thing is building an emergency fund. If it's up to you, whatever you feel comfortable with, you can start out with just your bills for the month, then work your way up to 6 months to a year. However you feel comfortable. You always want to think about the downside of things happening. Yeah, you're in a job. They love you. Everything good. You always on time. You the model employee. But hey, if that money start getting tight and they got to make some cuts, guess who's going to be gone? You'll be gone. So don't move through life as if everything is going to go according to plan. Always have a plan that works for if things don't go to plan. Always have a plan B. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. The next thing, if you have kids or a spouse that depends on you to bring in that money, you got family, whoever depends on you to be financially stable, you have to consider them. So if things fall bad where you're unable to work or you're unable to even think clearly for yourselves for a couple of months, you never know what happens. So that's why an emergency fund is necessary. You don't want to come out of the hospital and got all these bills backed up and you still can't even get back to work. So now that just adds to stress of all the different things you got going on in life. You don't want to have to think about, okay, well, they making cuts, they making layoffs. Now I got to take a pay cut or even worse, lose my job. And now you're out there looking for another job and you're going to take the first thing that comes. So building that emergency fund, that nest egg, allows you to make sure you're weeding throughout those applications and those interviews and making the proper choice for yourself and your family. Because I know if you ain't got nothing else going on, if all else hit the fan, you might be flipping burgers when you was just making a $70,000 a year salary. And that ain't the play. Yeah, it's gonna put food on the table somewhat, but if everything ain't in order, your money isn't in order, then you just making a fool of yourself and you running on this treadmill and you running at a speed that you can't keep up with because you're trying to provide for a family of 4 on a budget of 1. So always make sure you got that emergency fund of all your bills, all your expenses, and a little cushion up to 6 months to a year so that you can make sure those are my 3 tips on how we build the generational wealth going into 2023. I know the year started, maybe you fell off your wagon on your goals, your financial plans for this year, but don't give up, stay focused, and always continue to invest in yourself first and foremost. This your boy AV, aka The Conscious Investor. If you guys got any questions, comments, concerns, hit your boy up. Make sure you hit that subscribe, like, and comment, and share. You can check the link in my bio in order to download a budget planner. You can break it down to weekly, monthly, yearly, whatever works for you. Just get started so we can keep track of that money. That way we know what we can save and what we can invest. Boy AV, aka The Conscious Investor. We're going to get into a couple of things, how we can set ourselves up for generational wealth in 2023. Let's get into it.